Hello again, all my Rouses Point Cougar artists. I just want to say I wish I could reach out and give all of you a big hug, but the best I can do is make these videos and tell you how much I appreciate when I hear from you guys when you send me your messages and your drawings. So please keep those coming because it really makes my day when I hear from you guys. I know that some of you know that I used to be a high school art teacher. In fact, I was a teacher to some of your parents. I'm sure they can attest to that. They probably told you he's been telling the same jokes for 25 years. That may be true, but what you may not know is that I used to teach high school English, well, for 1 year, and then I realized it was actual work, and that is just not for me. So I switched back to art. Actually, that's not the reason I switched back to art, but I am glad that I'm teaching art again. And the reason that I bring this up is because when I was a high school English teacher, one of our projects was called Me in a Bag. And the students would bring in a brown paper bag, and inside they would place 5 objects that would represent something that was important to their life. Some students would pull out a baseball. Some students would pull out a pen if they really liked creative writing. Some students would pull out something like a guitar pick if they were into music. And they would have 5 objects that would let their audience know about the things that were most important in their lives. And I thought, well, maybe we could do something like that with art class. And so what we're going to do is, rather than the brown paper bag, we're going to do my life in a jar because it's see-through. Get it? All right, and I'm going to start out with basically a rectangle. And again, if you want to use a ruler, that's fine, but I'm going to draw fairly lightly until I decide that I like my lines. I'm going to make it nice and big, and I could have the bottom straight if I want to, but to make it look more like a round jar, I'm going to have it curve a little bit on the bottom. Curve a little on the top, and then put a lid on it. And your jar doesn't have to look exactly like this. But there's my basic jar shape. Now I'm going to divide it up into 5 or 6 different sections, different levels. Now you can make it 5 or 6 or 7, whatever is right for you. I'm going to do 6 so that every level can be a different color of the rainbow. Now I know that they say Roy G. Biv, there's 7 colors in the rainbow, but you don't need indigo. I mean, no offense to indigo, but you don't need it. If you've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, you got all you need. So I'm going to draw a curved line for every level. And again, I'm going to draw it kind of light until I like it. Now, if your jar goes straight across on the top and the bottom, you can just do this with a straight line with a ruler if you want to. But I put a little curve on my jar. And each level now is going to contain something that I've been doing during our time apart, during the quarantine or social distancing or whatever you want to call it, the time that we haven't been in class. That's what I'm going to draw in each level. And you can show me what you've been up to also. Now, this drawing assignment really isn't so much of a how to draw like the one with how to do a dolphin or how to do a cat or how to do a cougar. This one is just to give you an opportunity to share with me and with everybody else the things that you love to do and the things that you've been up to during the quarantine. I've decided to take a black marker and go over my lines so you can see them a little bit better. And I've drawn the bottom row of my jar, and I filled it in with something that's really been taking up a lot of my time, and that's spending time with my animals. I have a lot of animals. I've got I've got Scooter and Kato and Charlie and Kippy and Dexter. Now, if you wanted to simplify something like this, you could just draw some animal paws and that would work out fine too. Now in this row, I've drawn a few telephones. This is what telephones used to look like. Ask your grandparents, they'll tell you. And the reason I've included this is because, well, with social distancing, I haven't been able to visit people as much as I'd like to, but at least I've been able to call them, my mom and my brothers and my kids and some of my friends on the telephone. So at least that's been good. For this next row, I focused on exercise. Here's a picture of me and my wife going for a walk, riding a bicycle, and going for a run. To be honest, I should put this more in the category of things that I should be doing rather than things that I've been doing a lot, but hopefully that'll change in the near future. In this row, I've included all the teacher stuff that I've been up to. Here's looking at the drawings that you guys have been sending in. Here's the drawing and painting that I've been doing, and here's some of the videos that I've been making. Look at that guy. That is a handsome, handsome man right there. This row is food. Got a cheeseburger, a cupcake, and a pizza. I've been eating a lot. If I'm being honest, this row is probably much more accurate than this row. And finally, up on top, I have a picture of me and my wife. We've been spending a lot of time together, watching a lot of television, going for walks, spending time with the dogs, just doing a lot of simple things. It's one of the few things that I've actually been grateful for with all this craziness that's been going on. And the only thing to do now is to add color to our picture. So that's my life in a jar in full color. So put your life in a jar in full color, share with your family, share with me so I can share with everybody. And as you're working on this drawing and every drawing assignment that we do, if you find that you want to change it a little bit to make it either a little bit easier or a little bit more challenging or a little bit more original, that's the way you should do it because it's your creation and you should do it the way that you want to. These are just suggestions and guidelines, but you do it your way. For example, if you wanted to change the shape of the jar like this, where it's a little flatter on the bottom and on the top because it's a little bit easier to draw, well, then go ahead and do it that way. And if you decide that you don't want to do the 5 or 6 stripes like a rainbow, and you just want to draw a few random pictures of all the things that you've been up to during the time that we've been apart, then do it that way. Because any way that you want to do it, as long as it's your expression, that's the way it should be done. So I can't wait to see your pictures, and I can't wait till we get together again. But until we do, stay creative, stay cougar strong, and you be good. We'll see you.